And salsa is like conglomeration of all those different beats that are very similar, within the clave. Salsa has become very popular. Everybody loves salsa.
Estoy enamorado.
Estoy enchulado.
Estoy enamorado.
Aturdido y trastornado. Así.
Estoy enamorado.
Everybody loves salsa. That is the message you hear when you walk the historic cobbled streets of San Juan, Puerto Rico. This music style, which Puerto Ricans claim as their own, pervades every aspect of Puerto Rican life. Radio, restaurants, clubs, people just singing to themselves. It is a unifying force. Puerto Ricans across the world identify with one another through their love of salsa music. But to most gringos and other non-Puerto Ricans, salsa seems to blend in as merely another Latin music style. Just what is salsa?
Salsa, the term itself, I'm somewhat in agreement with Tito Puente that salsa is a sauce,
La salsa es un idioma que a través de los años la gente utiliza para cantar canciones de amor, cantar canciones de despecho, cantar canciones simplemente de temas sociales.
Salsa is characterized with its use of the clave.
People who are the puristas of salsa, they dance on two, which is dancing on clave. And what is that?
Clave is it's more than the rhythmic pattern. It's the soul of salsa, the soul of the rhythms. The thing with this clave is just a rhythm pattern. What can I say? You have to feel it. You cannot teach that.
This fundamental rhythm underlies every salsa song, giving the music direction and, most importantly, excitement. It is literally the key component of this music. The percussion instruments, congas, bongos, and timbales, are the leading components of a salsa group, and contribute most directly to the clave. Piano and bass also add rhythm, trumpet and trombone add melodic lines and hits, and vocals round out the ensemble. Salsa is also the term to describe the dance associated with this music. Salsa dancing itself is precise and pointed, yet at the same time is fluid and allows for much improvisation and originality. To better understand why salsa is such an important aspect of Puerto Rican culture, it is worthwhile to look at the history of salsa.
If you trace the roots of salsa, then you go all the way back to Africa when you had only drums, that was it. And you had the dancer communicating with the drummer, and it was all percussion.
Salsa's roots originate with the traditional Puerto Rican musical styles of bomba and plena.
So you know a little background history. Bomba music is a form of music that developed in Puerto Rico in the sugarcane plantations, all around the coast of Puerto Rico. It's a result of 400 years of the slave trade that occurred in the Caribbean. And all that mixture, bomba, comes about as a Puerto Rican form of music. Bomba primarily has African influence, has European influence, and it has Indian influences.
During the early 1900s, as early jazz music began in the United States, Puerto Ricans continued to develop the rhythmic styles of bomba and plena, as well as other traditional styles. But around the mid-1900s, America began to take an interest in the Puerto Rican culture, and Puerto Ricans began to look to the United States.
Late 50s, there were a great musical scene here in Puerto Rico and also in Cuba. And the history is that a lot of Puerto Rican musicians and Cuban musicians, they got together and they make music together. So it was like a musical exchange. Early 60s, a lot of Puerto Ricans, they immigrate to the United States, to New York, actually, to New York. And that's where everything started.
For Puerto Ricans, salsa is a way of life. The music isn't only for the musicians who play it, nor is it only for the dancers. Instead, salsa is, in a sense, for all Puerto Ricans. This affinity for and connection to the music begins at childhood.
I was born and raised here in Puerto Rico, in San Juan. And here, if you're Puerto Rican, you're always listening to salsa. I think even in the hospital, once you're born, there's salsa playing in the hallways.
I grew up with it. I grew up listening to it. It's just like Latin music. When you are growing up here, it doesn't matter where. It's just all over.
Pues yo comienzo la música a los 7 años. A los 7 años yo comienzo la música haciendo una composición de jazz. Se tituló El Tren. Hice unas gran cosas después a los 10 años ayudando a mi señor padre Tommy Villarini.
The music spans generations, remaining popular and fundamental for the Puerto Rican culture.
There's a guy, we call him El Abuelo, the grandpa, that used to come here to New York. It was the most fun guy. He would dance with 2 or 3 girls at the same time. And he wasn't that great of a dancer, but he was always making faces, and he would put his legs on top of a table while he was dancing. And he would try to do the split, but he was like 60-something years old. But everybody would laugh, and he would do exactly what you're supposed to do when you dance, make the other person smile.
Al contrario, hay muchos salseros, niños de 7 años, 8, 9 años, bailando una salsa increíble.
Salsa music and dance are meant to be shared with the community, not kept to oneself. Salsa is played for everybody by everybody, which explains its power in connecting and unifying Puerto Ricans. It is a family affair. Old San Juan, the historic district of Puerto Rico's capital city, was established in the early 1500s by Spanish settlers. Today, San Juan is also Puerto Rico's largest city, but El Viejo San Juan retains its colonial charm and traditional culture. Because of the high quantity of people there, the large tourist draw, and the constant influence of the historic culture, Old San Juan has become a hotbed of salsa activity. The rich history of salsa music can still be heard resonating throughout the streets of Old San Juan. While the past certainly will be remembered in the lyrics and melodies of this defining music, it would be foolish to think that salsa itself will fade away. Instead, the younger generations are now carrying the music forward, blending it with influences from other music styles from across the world. Salsa is not disappearing, rather it is constantly evolving. The question remains, what is the future of salsa? Will salsa continue as it has in the past, or will it take on new dynamics, adopt new styles, and continue to be the defining force of Puerto Rican culture?
Bueno, yo creo que el futuro de la salsa está bien en buenas manos, no solamente en mi orquesta Villarini Salsa Project, sino en diferentes, está en manos de mucha gente. En Puerto Rico hay muchos talleres, hay muchos jóvenes con mucho, perdóname, no hay muchos talleres, hay muchos jóvenes con muchos músicos, grandes talentos, pero no hay mucho taller. A la gente le gusta, yo creo que esa es la diferencia de esta salsa de ahora a la salsa de antes. Que la gente, los jóvenes, pues estamos fusionando. Ahora muchos salseros cantando reggaetón, hay muchos reggaetoneros cantando salsa. Y eso es lo que quizás, pues, buscamos siempre buscar algo nuevo dentro de lo que ya existe, pues ya todo esto existe. Muchas orquestas nuevas de la nueva generación que también han hecho sus discos y se unen a esta causa. Y qué bueno, porque significa que entonces la salsa no va a morir nunca.
Salsa is there forever. It will be there forever. No matter, I mean, we have been through different musical changes through the years, and I've been a witness of that because you know, I've been in music for 27 years professionally, and I've been through the different changes, and salsa still there.
Salsa is the way of life for Puerto Ricans. From Old San Juan to New York to the world, salsa music and dance remain a unifying force and a common connection. The history of salsa is lively and vibrant. The future will undoubtedly be the same. After all, everybody loves salsa.
Tiene algo que me gusta, que a mí me tiene enchulado. Yo no sé lo que me pasa, que a mí me tiene alocao. Como dicen en la calle,